2 verses, and
think
then
I lost
we'll
my
we'll
water
join
now.
you
Okay.
on. I'll join you on the last one. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Did you have trouble?
We should start.
And
We
I
are.
was lucky because I came from the west and there weren't any there.
Yeah.
Whenever you see this mic,
I lost my watermelon.
put it where you think it's
My watermelon.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I don't know, it must have fallen off somewhere.
Let's see.
Because I was so. You did? Oh, did maybe I can. Oh, here it is. You were right, Margaret. Thanks. I did.
Yeah, really. It's so depressing. I'm so depressed that it keeps going out of tune. It's brand new. I know, it's kind of shitty.
Thank you, Andy. That was very nice. I know. Played the sounds of silence. Thank you, Andy. That was marvelous. Welcome, everyone, to the Berkeley Fellowship of Unitarian Universalists. I'm Karen DeWald, and your liturgist this morning. We are part of a free religious tradition that honors the loving heart, the open mind, and growing together within the beloved community. And a special welcome to our friends on Zoom. Everyone, please have your cell phones muted and take a few slow, deep breaths. Settle comfortably into your seat and prepare for our sacred hour together. Our fellowship stands on land that is today called Berkeley, California, located in the unceded or stolen territory of the Ohlone people. We honor them today and always for their wisdom and resilience. One quick note, please do not record any part of this service. BFUU records it, and the sermons are posted on the website. And now, Rabbi Lynn will bring us the opening words.
Good morning. This is a difficult topic that we have this morning, so I just want to note that you may have to process this with younger members of our community. My topic today, I'm not giving a sermon now, these are opening words, I promise you. My topic today, however, is nonviolence in a time of genocide. And so I'm going to read a poem, and we are speaking about the genocide of the Palestinian people. And so I'm going to read a Yiddish lament for the destruction of Palestine. It's in English, but it's a translation of a Yiddish lament that was written during the genocide of Jewish people, and how heartbroken, utterly heartbroken we are in this moment, so many of us, that we are witnessing this genocide. Es brennt, Brüderlach, se brennt, oi unser orem Städtel Nebach brennt. It's burning, relatives. It's burning. Gaza is burning. Raging winds are fanning the wild flames and furiously tearing, destroying and scattering everything all around. All is burning. And you stand and look just so. You with folded arms stand there idly and look while our houses burn. Es brennt, Habibti, se brennt. It's burning, family. It's burning. Gaza is burning. The moment is at hand when, God forbid, Gaza, along with all of us, are being turned to ashes by the flames. Only bare black walls and rubble remain. Gaza is burning. Only you can save it. Extinguish the fire with your blood if you must. Relatives, don't just stand there with folded arms. Please, please, put out the fire. This is our dedication today.
Thank you, Rabbi Lynn. Okay. Christine is going to light the chalice. Please light your own chalice or candles at home now while we light this communal chalice for all of us, a symbol of our tradition and the spirit that lives within every one of us. Please read with me our unison chalice lighting. Let love be the spirit of this congregation and service its goal. This is our living covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truths in life, and to help one another. We light our red candle to mourn Black lives taken by police and state violence, to proclaim that Black lives matter, and to express our commitment to Black liberation, reparations, and the end of slave capitalism. Please join the choir in singing hymn number 1025 from the Teal hymnal, When Will the Fighting Cease?
When will the fighting cease?
Thank you, choir and everyone. That was lovely. Rabbi Lynn will have a reading for us. Thank you.
I'm reading a poem from Refat al-Arir. He was a wonderful, wonderful teacher. He taught kids in Gaza. And by the way, if you don't know where Gaza is, it's right next to Egypt and between Egypt and Israel. It was, before 1948, part of historic Palestine and is one of the oldest cities in the world. It was one of the oldest cities in the world. Now it is completely destroyed. And he wrote this for his daughter a couple years ago. He is now a martyr. He was killed. His family was killed. But these are his words. The other thing that you have to know is that Palestinian kids love kites. Every single kid has a kite, and it means a lot for them to fly them because it is a sign of freedom for them. They watch the kites like birds go up into the air and wish that they could be like a kite and fly to a safe place. He wrote, "If I must die, you must be alive to tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some string and make a white kite with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heavenward, can see, awaiting her father to come home, who left in a blaze and bid no one farewell, not even to his body, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite, flying overhead, and thinks for a moment an angel is there to bring back love. If I must die, let it bring hope. Let it bring a story." And we pray today that those who did not survive, at least 16,000 children and thousands more who are buried under the rubble, and their families, let us pray that our stories are strong enough to collectively bring hope, to make a difference, to be a sign of love. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Lynn. In a moment, can you hear me? Okay. In a moment, I will sound a chime to lead us into our time of silent meditation. Please get comfortable and follow your breath to your inner stillness. I will ring the chime a second time at the end of 2 minutes. Thank you. The ritual of joys and sorrows is a time for each of us to share what is in our hearts this week and ask for community prayers and support. Each week, we lay out a book to your left in which you are welcome to write in your joys and sorrows, and we share those with the community. I will read those now. Okay. Send out healing thoughts to all those affected by storms. Send freedom thoughts to all animals everywhere. Happy first birthday to Summer Carnell, Karen DeWald's granddaughter. That's my granddaughter. She turned 1 yesterday. Encouraging everyone to seek comfort and support through sharing in community in these difficult times. From Joanna. Thank you. Thank you, Christine. Now is the time we say aloud the names of anyone we want to send support and loving energy to.
Kristen. Palestinian children.
Thank you. Now we move on to the silent part of our morning ritual. It's the healing ritual with water and stones. For anything that is in our hearts that we wish to bring into community, but is perhaps too sensitive to speak aloud, we have a symbolic action you can take. You can walk down the center aisle, choose a stone or stones, and immerse it in the water, which represents our community, in the blue bowl. For all that we have shared and for all that we will share in our ongoing lives together, may we be grateful. Please join Christine in singing the meta chant or meditation. It's in your order of service.
May I be well.
May I know joy. May I be free. May you be safe. May you be well. May you know joy. May you be free. May they be safe. May they be well. May they know joy. May they be free. May all be safe. May all be well. May all know joy. May all be free. All right. Thank you. That was lovely.
The next one, the peace shalom.
Now, please join the choir in singing Somos el Barco from page 242 in the Rise Up Singing Songbook.
Somos el barco,
Somos el mar,
yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. The stream sing it to the river sings it to the sea sings it to the boat that carries you and me. Somos el barco, somos el mar, yo navego en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat.
Thank you for that wonderful song. That was beautiful. Lynn Gottlieb is a rabbi emerita of the congregation Nahalat Shalom in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now a resident of Berkeley, California, Rabbi Lynn engages in multi-faith, intergenerational, and multicultural organizing in solidarity with racial, indigenous, gender justice, and Palestinian liberation struggles as she teaches joyful spirituality, storytelling, ceremony, and ritual arts. I'd like to welcome Rabbi Lynn to the podium again.
Good morning again.
Good morning. Good morning.
First of all, I would like to thank you so much for switching out the Jewish star, which is a state symbol of the state of Israel, the blue and white, for the menorah, the 7-branch menorah, the third one to the left, which is an ancient symbol going back to the biblical period, and actually organizes is a symbol of our spirituality, especially nonviolent spirituality. So thank you for that, and thanks, Tom, for literally climbing up and taking down the banner when I mentioned it for the first time without really a consultative process, but I'm glad that it worked out. So that's what I want to say about nonviolence is nonviolence gets things done. I used a 4-letter word at Interfaith Movement that starts with an S and ends with a T because it really does get things done. How many of you consider yourselves practitioners of nonviolence as a spiritual way of life? So that's a lot of people. Does anybody want to say in a sentence, which is hard, what that means to you? One sentence of what that looks like in your life. Yes, go ahead. Yes. Actually, the more one practices, the clearer it becomes. Yes. I can repeat it if I hear it, yes.
My spirituality is based on love and acceptance of all people and animals and plants.
So in the positive description, it's based on love and acceptance of all people and creaturely life here on planet Earth. This is as far as we've gotten so far. Is anyone else want to add to that definition?
I believe that I like to treat everybody neutral, everyone, no matter where they come from. And that's one of my things. And I love people, and I love language.
All right, so the second piece that we got is treating people with equity, equally. So equity is a little different than equal because everybody has different needs. So the tradition that I come from uses the concept of dignity and equity. Treating everybody with equity means that you get what you need. We also need to understand the definition of violence if we want to understand nonviolence. Violence is the use of power, force, to take what you want without consent. Violence is the use of force to take what you want without consent. Systemic violence is a group of people, a state or an empire, taking what it wants so that people no longer have what they need to live. It's a system imposed by militarism, using the military, and also social force, prejudice, ideas. And it creates attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors that we think of as normal. They become normalized. And we don't even catch ourselves doing it very often if we are holding a top position in the system of caste, meaning hierarchy, which violence assumes. And there are lots of different things in that petal of identity that we all have. There's national status, whether we have citizenship or not. There's racial status, which is, in this country, looks like white people and people of color. There's religious status. In this country also looks like Christianity or cultural Christianity. And even with all the symbols up there, we still have to recognize that this system came out of a cultural Christian system. And so there's gender identity, there's physical ability, there's all different petals in which we may inhabit there's being young and having old people tell you what's what. So there's different categories of systems of caste which can lead to and often are embedded in violence, meaning people can't access what they need to live and to thrive. We are in a very acute situation right now. We know that. We have lost the government, and we are facing people who want to take away the rights of women, of trans people, of workers, people who are impoverished, the environment, immigrants. So many classes of people are going to experience U.S. militarism, a further acute situation of policing in their own homes, because we know that the deportation that is coming, that will impact millions of people, will occur by people, the police force going into people's homes or at their place of work, traffic stops, any situation. And so we are first and foremost facing a time where many people are experiencing anxiety and fear. And so the first principle of nonviolence, of leading a spiritual, nonviolent way of life, is what I call soul tending. Soul tending. That means that each of us needs a practice, whether it's breath. When you feel the anxiety rising, are you able to take breaths to give yourself, ground yourself a little more? Whether it's movement, in sports, dance, walking on a daily basis, or making art. That happens to be my preferred happy place that always takes me into grounding in my spirituality. And anything else that looks like soul tending to you. Having a beloved community, being part of a beloved community where everybody has a voice, sits in a circle, shares what's happening. These are aspects of soul tending. In my community, another part of nonviolence is culture tending. I come from a 3,000-year-old spiritual tradition. We have a highly evolved culture. Unitarian Universalists are a little new, and part of that challenge is understanding, well, what is the culture, actually, of Unitarian Universalists? What if you had to map it out, what would that look like? And what are the strongest elements of that culture tending that you can be engaged in as a community together? For us, it looks like tending land. We have our own very complex cycle of ceremonial time. Jewish people have more holidays than any other people on the face of the earth except Hindus. So we're pretty holiday oriented. Once a week, beginning with, and large sectors of time. And I see it now that my community is increasingly depending on those cultural endowments that we have. And every culture that is coming under attack will be focusing on their cultural endowment as a source of strength. It could be music, it could be dance, it could be the way you come together on a weekly basis, but whatever that looks like, it will need strengthening and cultivation so that it can be part of withstanding the forces that are coming to us. The third element is wisdom tending. This is a time, especially when looking at nonviolence, I would start the history of contemporary nonviolence, of course, with Gandhi, who in 1906 devised tactics using nonviolence, drawing on Jain tradition, Jain, Jain tradition. He developed the tactics to prove that there is a force more powerful than militarism. And someone like Erica Chenoweth, who was taught military intelligence, whether that's the same thing or not, whether you can put those two words together, I don't know, but taught military intelligence to different military schools, poo-pooed the idea that nonviolence had any power at all until she was challenged to do the research and discovered over time that nonviolent tactics and actions are 2/3 more likely to obtain a victory, because nonviolence is made to win a campaign. And part of winning campaigns, even if it takes a while, sometimes failure is actually success in nonviolence because we've moved the marker. That means having a deep understanding of what narratives we can draw on to create a different story of the world. When someone says they eat their dogs and cats, rather than poo-pooing, we have a different narrative that we can bring to the fore. And so nonviolence depends very much, and this is part of Kingian nonviolence as well. Anyone who understands what nonviolence is, it is not just a philosophy, it is a practice that is aimed to radically overturn systems of violence. And to do that, We need analysis and research to understand what are the root causes and to map out the power. How is the other side organizing itself? And that we have the narratives to begin to challenge attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors that are pushing the agenda of violence. This also means understanding that the majority of people who voted for Trump this election simply only gave themselves access to one stream of information, and they believe the lie. And so in this moment of genocide, and in this moment of increasing violence, we need to have a secure understanding of our stories, our narratives, and the channels for truth. Where are those channels for truth? They come from sharing the stories of people who are directly impacted by the violence that they are experiencing. And as Rafat Al-Arir said, making sure those stories see the light of day in the circles to which we have access. You have a YouTube channel. You maybe have a blog, I don't know. But you have a following, people who read. So who among you can help curate those narratives to not only be reactive, but to propel us toward the future that we are looking for, the world that we want? And fourthly, the fourth sphere, in addition to the values in action that I know you've expressed and do express during the service, the fourth sphere is understanding the power and tending transformational solidarity. I've been in the Bay Area, came from New Mexico, as you know, been in the Bay Area now for, since January 1st, 2013. And almost, when I wanted to find out, how am I going to organize here? Because I've been organizing, as you know, since 1966. I've been getting in trouble, you might say. I've been in non-compliance. I've been making beautiful trouble. So now I'm 75, so that's a long time of stirring things up. So I was looking, who do I want to organize with here in the Bay Area? And I met my dear friend, Reverend Deborah Lee. And we looked at each other, and we immediately, after like a minute or two of talking, and of course, we were at a protest. And I was there because Reverend Phil Lawson, the brother of Reverend James, who was one of the architects of the civil rights movement in the United States and himself had been practicing nonviolence from the age of 19. He's now in hospice. He's in his I think he's 90 now. All my teachers, many of whom have passed, but they were in it from the time they were teenagers. Me too, from the time I was in the 8th grade. So it's never too early to start getting training and to doing things. But in that moment, I realized that interfaith movement for human integrity, which we've grown together, is one of the strongest platforms for movement building and organizing in the Bay Area and really throughout the state of California. One of our methodologies is pilgrimage. We, among the many things that we do, oh, and by the way, we do get shit done. We've closed down over 8 detention centers in California, and that's no small matter, including West County Detention Center, with a series of methodologies centering the testimony of directly impacted people in every action that we do, growing that leadership, giving that leadership resources, using rapid response to raids and other things that are happening around detention and incarceration, legislative advocacy, networking, pulling people into the network, and pilgrimage. Pilgrimage to sites where horrible things are happening. In California, that's a lot. That is detention centers. That includes incarceratory buildings, jails, and prisons. Also includes going to the Inland Empire, which is where colonial capitalism thrives in California. So I invite you to select somebody from your community to join us on that 5-day pilgrimage, which will come up next fall, to see for yourself and to listen to directly impacted people who are organizing for freedom. And that's what Tending Transformational Solidarity does. It's about organizing for freedom. So these are the 4 realms of nonviolence. Nonviolent practice is for courageous people. We can all learn about how to be courageous people. Believe me, that did not come to me overnight. And there have been plenty of times I've faced some pretty serious violence in my life. And the more I practice, the more I am able to transform a moment. I have experienced transformational love and the power of nonviolence. I have seen it change lives, and I have seen it influence whole groups of people to stand up for each other. Whether it's bullying in middle school, or bullying by the police, or bullying by prison guards, bullying by so many institutional contexts that allow people to basically be indifferent or stand by. We have the power to be intersectional, to build our movement, to transform the narrative, to cultivate our leadership. And what is so beautiful about nonviolence is every single person, no matter how old you are, you can do something. You can do something to make the world a better place. And it's even stronger if you do it together. So I will finish by, by reading this prayer for peace by a rabbi who lived quite a long time ago in 1827. His name was Rabbi Nachman, and he was a great storyteller. I know all of his stories. There's a lot of stories. May it be the will of the loving presence in our lives and the lives of all our ancestors that we erase war and bloodshed from the world, and in its place practice peace and nonviolence, so that nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Rather, may we all cling tightly to the midah, to the value of peace in action. Let there be a truly great peace among every person and their fellow human beings, and let there be no discord among people, even in their hearts. May we recognize and deeply know this great truth. We have not come into this world for strife and division, nor hatred or rage, nor provocation or bloodshed. We have only come here to encounter loving presence and the wellspring of blessings, as it is written in the Torah, I will place peace upon the earth, and may every person lie down in their bed safe and undisturbed, and we shall banish armed conflict from the earth, and the sword shall no longer pass through our land. That is the ancient vision of the prophets, repeated by Rabbi Nachman. May it also be true for us. Thank you. This book is available if you want to read the whole How to Be Nonviolent, the whole schmear. It's over there.
Thank you. This is yours too. Yeah. Thanks. Oops, sorry. Thank you, Rabbi Lynn. That was inspirational. Okay, now is the time when we share our responsibility for the home which we are creating together. Our shared plate partner is World Central Kitchen, which is feeding thousands daily in Gaza, men, women, and children. Please give generously to support BFUU and our shared plate partner. I think you can read about them in the order of service. I think there's a little bit of information about them. Let us dedicate our offerings to the work of this fellowship, which is creating beloved community within and beyond these walls. We dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. We gratefully acknowledge all who work together on this service. I want to greet everyone on Zoom again and welcome Benjamin Birch, Jinky and Mike Gardner, and Marge Turngren, who joined us on Zoom this morning. Welcome to everyone who came in person. And if you like, if you're new or haven't been in a long time, or just if you feel so moved, if you'd like to rise and introduce yourself, we'd love to hear from you. No pressure, though. You don't have to. But if you'd like to, we'd be happy to welcome you. We welcome you anyway. Please check your order of service or email newsletter for the announcements. If you're not yet on our mailing list, go to bfuu.org. That's bfuu.org to sign up, or contact me after the service. Jeff has an announcement.
Thank you, Karen. So this Friday is our normal Friday dance. Hopefully you can make it. Tuesday, it's freestyle dancing is like music goes and you do what you want. It's not actually couple dancing. It's like you just kind of express yourself. So hopefully if you like that kind of thing, you'll come and enjoy that with us. This next Sunday, Reverend Jojo will speak on decolonization, reparation, and liberation psychology. It promises to be an interesting and possibly challenging message. And then after the service, come join the BFU community for a Thanksgiving potluck. We will provide the turkey, gravy, and tofurkey, etc. We welcome any side dishes such as vegetables, potatoes, cranberry sauce, desserts. We will be meeting after our 10:30 a.m. service at noon on Sunday, November 24th. And there's a sign-up sheet in the back if you'd like to bring something. Thanks very much.
And also on that date, next Sunday, we'll have some fabulous musicians, Bob Reed and Judy Jager.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Melissa. Common Ground, is that the one?
Yes. What is it?
The movie Saturday is Common Ground. That's okay.
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
This week, the Senate is going to be voting on, it's called thank you. Okay. It's called a joint resolution of disapproval. And what it's for is to stop the $20 billion more of weapons that the administration wants to send to Israel for weapons of war against the Gazans and Lebanon and whatever. So if you can call Congress and just leave a message, for our senators or whoever else you want to call attention to it, and just ask them to vote for this resolution so we can stop another $20 billion of our tax dollars going to kill children and people in Gaza. Yes, if you could go online and look at either Jewish Voice for Peace, who has the information. They have a very good one, Jewish Voice for Peace. Have a whole platform you can read online. And they even allow you to email, and use their thing, or to call through them. So that's a very good one. Thank you. When is the vote? It's sometime this week. Yes. And they have to have, everyone has to vote on it. So we'll get to see how everybody stands on whether they're for genocide.
It's by burning.
Thank you. Everyone who can call that number, that'd be great. Okay, please join the choir in singing the song Peace, Salam, Shalom by Pat Humphreys.
So the words are peace in English, salam in Arabic, peace, and shalom in Hebrew means peace. It was sung by the woman who wrote it at a huge rally after 9/11. 10,000 people were there. And they wrote it after 9/11.
Please join
You
in.
can sing along with us.
Yes.
Shalom,
Thank you. That was great. And now we will extinguish the chalice. Please read along with the words in the order of service. Careful. We extinguish the flame of this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of service. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Thank you, Christine. Thank you for joining us. You're welcome to stay and enjoy community. We'll be having light refreshments after the service. Have a great afternoon.
We usually sing the final song.
And then the benediction. Okay, let's form a circle and sing Circle Round for Freedom by Linda Hirschhorn.
like you're helping doing some chores.